Like a plan? Okay. So today we're doing 2.5. So go ahead and save this as 2.5 class demo. So 2.5 class demo. Put it on your M drive. And no, just a normal, yeah. Later, when you're done, you'll do PDF, but not yet. So today we're going to play with the Insert tab. So we've got the Home, then just, we've done the Insert tab a ton. So under the Insert tab, we're going to get into tables today. So it's like your grids, like your rows and columns and cells and all that kind of stuff. It kind of looks like the Excel thing. And you can make that stuff look really nice on a page using tables. And it kind of gets in that tab realm where you can line things up and stuff. And so you'll use them quite often. So if you find the table, so Insert tab, we got the table group, hit the little arrow down on the table, and you're going to see like a 10 by 10 grid. And if you mouse over, you'll start to see your table form out on Word. If you go down, we're not going to do any of them down farther, but you'll see like an insert table. That's if you have a specific, or if it's bigger than a 10 by 10, you need more, you'd go into the insert table and you can type in whatever number you want. Like if you need 3 pages worth of rows. You can draw a table, we'll get into that down the road. And then spreadsheet and tables, we won't get into that. Today we're just going to do a 2 by 5. So do a 2 across, and we're going to go 5 down for the table. So just select that and highlight that, and then just click on that last cell, and that's going to give you your table in there. And to fill that out for our titles, let's do class period for the first one. And then the other one, and if you hit your tab key will take you to the next cell. You don't have to hit your mouse or anything, just the tab key. So class period, and let's do class. Then hit your tab key, and then just fill that out. So give us just an 8A or B-Day, I don't care which one. First period, second period, just do first. And I'm going to do, hit your tab key again. That make you think a little bit? Okay, did you get them in all right? Okay, if you notice now, just like in a graphic, when you have it selected, you get a brand new tab at the top. This is called Table Tools. You actually get 2 new tabs on this one. There's Table Tools, and then there's the Design and Layout tab. If I click off of it, it disappears. Okay, so just remember that. Just have your cursor somewhere in there. We're going to start with the Design tab, and we're going to start with Table Styles. So we're just going to make our table look really pretty with just a couple clicks. So we're going to hit the arrow down that opens up. If you do the first arrow, that just goes a row at a time. But if you hit the next arrow at the very bottom, it says More on it. If you click that one open, that opens up your whole dialog box so that you can pick something that looks nice. I like this middle row right here. Just pick something along those lines. But you're welcome to pick anything, because we're going to play with it a little bit. So pick a color you like. And just select it. All right with that? Now at the top left, with your table still selected, you'll see there's table style options. So once you pick a style, then you can play with it. There's just some check boxes there. So like I could turn off my header row, and it's going to take off that dark orange on the top. I can do a total row. A total row would be like if you had numbers that you're adding up and you need a total on the bottom. That'd be your total row. I can take off the banded rows, or I can turn on the banded rows, either way. So just get it to a style that you like. Just play with those a little bit. The last column it actually bolds the last column. The first column, it'll bold that. So if you had, some kind of a title or something down that left side too, you could. And it'll have you play with that today on your project that you're going to create. Okay, now let's go over to the right where it says Border Styles. We're going to go to the right of Border Styles where it says Pen Color, Half Point, and then if you mouse over it, it says Line Style. It's between Border Styles and Borders. Hit that arrow down, and that's going to open up a whole bunch of different options for what your borders can look like. Pick one of the dashed ones. Doesn't really matter which one you pick. I'm going to show you what we can do with that. Pick one of those dashed ones. And then mine says half point. Let's change that. Make that a little bit thicker. You just pick. It doesn't really matter which one. Just pick one. And then go to pen color and pick a pen color. I'm going to make mine different so that you can see it. Now, if I put my cursor down and my mouse down on my document, it gives you a different icon. It gives you kind of like a paintbrush icon. Did it do that? Should have. If it didn't, what that is that's your border painter. You want to make sure your border painter is turned on. And that's a toggle switch you can turn on and off. So now let's just color the outside of our table. So all you do is you're just going to click and hold on that, like on the bottom border, and I'm going to drag across, and then I'm going to let go. So that just painted that bottom border. And I'm going to do that on the left side, and I'm going to go all the way up the left side. You have to do a straight, like you can't turn, so you got to do like a straight line. So I'm going to go across, and I'm going to go down the right side. So that's how you would use the border painter. Go ahead and turn that border painter off just by clicking on it. Now that's different than the one next to it, the borders. The borders would do it if you have everything highlighted. So let's highlight our table. To highlight your table, you just click and hold and drag. So let's highlight the whole thing. Let's go from all the way from the bottom right to the top left. And then click on borders. And then if you mouse over it, you'll see what those are going to do. So look, if I do all borders, it's going to do all my borders. If I do outside, it's only going to do the outside. If I do inside, the outside went funky, because look at the outside, it actually turned them off, so that toggled it on and off. They're already on, so if I click it again, it turns them off. That's why they disappeared on that. I've got inside borders. I can just do just the right border. You can do lots of different things with that. Okay, so if I pick all borders, go ahead and pick all borders. That's going to change the borders of all of your. So you could do just a small section. Today it's going to have you do a small section of it. So you just highlight like whatever it tells you to highlight, and then you just do the borders within that section of that. Okay. Easy enough. Okay, let's go to the layout now. So go to the layout tab. And let's add, we forgot to put flex in here, so let's add flex hour in here. So flex becomes between first and second period. So if you notice up here at the top, you've got some options which we can do. We can draw our table eraser, delete. Delete would like delete rows and columns and stuff. But if I go to the right of that, you'll see insert above, insert left, those kind of things. So I'm just going to click on the second one. I'm going to do insert above. I'm just going to click insert above. That's going to pop in a new row for me. So let's type in flex in there. So I'm just going to do flex and then do the teacher. Okay. Did you find that all right? Okay, let's do one more. This time let's do a column. Let's do a column on the very far right. So make sure that you're selected on the right column, and then let's just do insert right. So we're going to do insert right, and that's going to give us a brand new column. Come on. And this time, let's go to the top and let's type in teacher, and then list your teachers that you have. And your arrow keys work too. So if you hit your arrow key down, that'll take you down to the next one. If you hit the tab key, it's going to take you over to your class period. Okay, get those in. Now we've got a lot of space here in class period and even in all of them. In class period, the class, see that to the right? We're going to shrink that up a little bit. So let's make our columns skinnier. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in between our columns. And if you go in between your columns and mouse over it, it's going to turn into a double line with two arrows on it. When it does that, just click and hold. And then I'm going to drag. Come on. I'm going to drag to the left. I'm going to shrink those up. But I'm going to do that with all my columns. So it doesn't take up quite so much room. You got to get your mouse just right in there and then drag. Now you could, if I wanted to, if I had those select, like a column selected, if you notice, on your layout, you've got your height and width up there. So I could actually type in a width. So like if it says 2 inches, this column needs to be 2 inches wide, you'd get into that column and you'd just type width 2 inches. Let's change our height. We don't want to do all of them though. So let's highlight everything but your titles. So highlight everything but your titles, and let's change that row height. Okay, we're going to change that row height to the 1/2 inch. So highlight those 5 rows, and then go up to height, and just, you can hit the arrow up a couple times and it'll go to 1/2 inch, or you can type in 0.5 if you want to type in 0.5, either way. Okay. The next one over to the right, the distribute rows and columns, that just makes your rows and columns all equal. We're not going to worry about that. But we are going to go over to the right again, and you'll see 9 squares. We want to align all of this information. It looks kind of weird in the top left. We want to put it right in the center of the cell. So if you notice on those 9 squares, we're going to go right in the middle of them. That's going to center both horizontally and vertically. Just click on that, and that's going to center you up, just to make it look nice. You'll see also that you've got text direction, and you've got cell margins. If text direction would be like if you want to tip it or go a different direction. We're going to go over to to sort, but first we got to select our whole table. Let me show you an easy way to do that. We were clicking and dragging. If you're inside your table, if you click on the crosshairs on that top left, that selects your whole table. So if you have a huge table, you can just click those crosshairs and it selects everything for you. You don't have to highlight and click and drag. So make sure your whole table is selected, and then go up and push sort. You're going to have to sort today too. So click on sort. And notice it found the headers. So it has class period, class teacher. So the first one's saying, what do you want to sort by? If you hit that arrow down, it's going to say class period, class teacher. Let's sort by class. It's already in order by the period. Let's do it by class. It's going to be text, which is fine. And then we've got ascending or descending. So ascending goes from A to Z, and descending, of course, goes from Z to A. And if you have, today you're going to do dollars. So ascending would go from like $1 to $10. Descending would be the other way around. So we're just going to do ascending. Go ahead and hit OK. And that just put that all in order. B, D, P, V, W in there. Okay, cool, right? Okay, lastly, we have on flex, see those flex, that row? We've got the teacher twice. Let's just put the teacher in there once. So let's merge those 2 cells together. So let's highlight just those 2 cells, and let's merge those. Now the merge is up, we kind of skipped this. It's next to the insert above, below, left, right. There's one that says merge cells, split table. Just click on that merge cells. What I did is I got rid of that middle line and just put those together, so now it's just one cell. And then just get rid of one of the teacher's names if you have the double teacher in there. Just delete that. Okay, see how that works? We're good? Cool, right? Now this one's weird. We want to center this up on the page as far as left to right. That's not anywhere on your design and layout. You have to treat it like a graphic. So we're going to go to the Home tab. And you're just like you'd center up text, just select your table, and then just click on the center button like you'd center text. And that centers it up. Cool. Looks good. Now it's going to get a little weird. Okay. So make sure you click outside of this. We're done with our table for now. We're going to do a couple more things. Make sure you click outside of here. We're going to create a new page on the bottom. Now usually, adults do this all the time, and it'll drive you crazy once you know how to do this. To get a new page, they just hit the enter key like 15 times to get down to the bottom page. Have you guys ever done that before? Yeah, and that's just natural what you do. But the problem is if I start changing things on page 1 and hit my enter key, it pushes everything down on page 2. So it messes things up. So they have what they call a page break. And what it does, it automatically gives you a new page without messing with page 1 and giving you all the hard returns and stuff. So we're going to insert a break. I wish it was under the Insert tab. It sounds like it should be, right? It's not. It's under the Layout tab. So under Layout, you'll see one called Breaks. I think it's Layout because it's like margins and pages and all that kind of stuff. So it's under breaks. So go to your layout tab and breaks, hit that arrow down. Two different kinds of breaks that you'll use. Majority of the time, you'll use just a plain page break. That just means it just starts a new page, you just continue on. But I got to show you a different thing you're going to use because we're going to get into report formatting and different stuff. It gets a little intense. So there's a page break, and then there's a section break next page. Same thing. The only difference is it gives you a section break. So it's under the section break option, and then it says page or next page. So that's the one we want today, and I'll show you why we're going to do that. So layout tab, breaks, next page, section break. So click on that. You'll notice that pushed you down to a whole new page, right? And there's nothing, there aren't any hard returns or anything up on this other page.
So on your page, it showed up off to the side.
That's okay. That's okay.
How do I make it?
That's your zoom. Just zoom out, and I'm gonna go the opposite in a minute. And it'll push. So zoom in, and it'll get it to one page. Yeah. I'm actually gonna zoom out so I can show you 2 pages what it does. Okay. Good question. Okay, let's go back to our home tab. And this one I got to show you, we're back and forth all over the place today. We're going to go over to our paragraph group, and in the very top right of the paragraph group, it looks like a little column, like a Greek column thing. Click on that. It's just a toggle switch. What that does is it turns on all the information about your document. So it shows you if you've got hard returns. This is a hard return. And then these are like little, they call them soft returns. And this is the section break. So that's what I want to show you. That's a section break next page. You want to make sure that says section break there. Yeah. That's a stretch?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Okay, go ahead and turn that off. And now we're going to insert a header and footer. Remember under the insert tab? So this time it is under the insert. We're going to do insert. And this will be the last thing we do. It doesn't matter if you click on header and footer. We're going to do headers today because it just turns them on is all it does. So insert, let's do the blank 3 columns. And that gets you into the header and footers. Now look what's different here. I have a section 1 and I have a section 2. That's the big part that we're looking for. That's why we broke it into sections. And we'll keep going and I'll show you why. If we didn't break it into sections, that would just say header and footer. It wouldn't say anything else. So let's go to header section 1 and type your name in there. And notice that it went on page 2 also, right? So let's do the center one. Let's do second period, or what is this? 7th period. Okay, notice that went on this one over here. Now we're going to do this last one a little bit different. Okay, let's go, well, I should have gone the other way. Let's go over to the right. Now go to page 2, your header on section 2, and let's do the top right one there. But we're going to do something a little different. We could have typed in period 7. Like if I start typing, it's going to go over there, right? Okay, but we don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I want something different on page 2 than I want with page 1. This is where the magic comes in. So to do that, make sure you're on page 2, and then there's a link to previous. See up in the navigation, it says link to previous. Turn that off. And then watch where it says same as previous. Watch what it does. If I turn that off, it just took that same as previous off. We're getting deep, right? Okay, so now go in and type, let's do business office. And look what it did. Because we turned that off, it put it on the second page, but not on the first page. Okay, but it's always the same as previous, so you would do it on the second page and not on the first page. Now there's another way to do that. There's a different first page right here. But really, the best way to do it is do the section breaks we did. And the reason why is we'll get into report formatting, which is awesome because when you get into college and your English class stuff, you have to do that. So you can do all of that on Word. But you'll have like a title page, then you'll have a table of contents, and then you have all of your report that you've written. Then you can't put a page number on those first 2 pages. It has to start on that 3rd page. And so you have to break it into sections to be able to get it onto that 3rd page. Okay, so this is really for future stuff too. Today you're going to break it into sections and just put stuff on the 2nd page and not on the 1st page. So just a section break, and then just type everything on there. Okay, and you don't have to write reports in here. We're not going to do, we'll give you all the report stuff. You don't have to write anything, so we just make it look pretty. Okay. Once you get your header and footer in there, just hit close header and footer, and that just takes you out of it. Okay. And that is it. Questions at all on this? If you didn't quite get this, I'll walk around and help you out so you can finish this up. Save it as a PDF. Turn that in with your assignment.